The state of human trafficking and this is a tragedy. Put it straight in your mind as I put it in my mind. It is a tragedy to humanity. Why is it a tragedy? Humanity has all sorts of commodities to sell, but they decided to turn, humanity decided to turn against itself, to sell itself as a commodity. How do you feel about this? Those who are trafficking human beings, first of all, they are human beings. And they're trafficking human beings. For what purpose? For what purpose? Money. For what purpose? Money. Money. Let us pronounce it clearly. Money. Compare the value of human being with the money. And that is where we see the senselessness of it. Human trafficking is senseless activity of human beings against themselves, human beings. That is the point. Matthew, in his Gospel, chapter 7, verse 12, I think, says what Jesus was teaching to the others, saying, do to others what you would like to be done to you. Do to others what you would like to be done to you. If today we we say openly, we declare it openly. Who are those for human trafficking? Nobody will come out. Am I right? Nobody will come out to say, I'm a human trafficker. Why not? You know, it is shameful. You will not have done it to yourself. So, you feel ashamed and afraid to show yourself as human trafficker. If that is the case, why do you do it to others? When I'm just alone, thinking about this, I just say, God, how could you allow us human beings to go to that level? To put money more than human being? In reality, I was saying to God, God, look at us. We have human beings sold ourselves to money and make money our master, and we become the slaves of money. Jesus was right to say, Mammon and the Word of God cannot go together. And now I believe it. It is true. Very true. But I wish we came all to the senses of saying, I feel so serious about it. We should have come on to the senses. Fellow human beings, let us come to our senses. We have so many things to say. Why do we say fellow human beings? It needs a joint effort of humanity. All of us to condemn this and work to see that it should not continue, it should not happen. If we inform each other of this, which is wrong, and we need some voices to the voice of God. God has condemned slave trade, God has condemned human trafficking. That is clear. Because you will not want his image to be reduced to money and to make money stronger than his image. Which God would accept this? Not the God I believe in. Not the God Jesus preached and he died for on the cross. Not the God Mary accepted to do his will. So something is wrong with us, humanity. In this period of highly development, we are supposed to be better developed than those of that time, of those centuries. So here we are. It is good we come confronting ourselves in front of God. God, we have sinned. We have gone astray. Forgive us. And we should now ask also ourselves to forgive one another. Those who are engaged in it should ask pardon from the rest of humanity.
I've been in the midst of human trafficking battle for a while, as well as human sacrifice. Whoever wants to fight this, please make sure you write your will, complete it, It is part of corruption. There are homes and locations and addresses where children are being kept. A number of us even have the lists. You can take the police there, they get the name, they get these people. But if you come to be known that you are the one who sent the police there, you become a victim. Sometimes the police will come and tell you, leave that fight. Honorable Minister of Gender, this is true. I've been involved to the extent of involved in the IGP and even the Chief of Defense Forces, with many districts in Uganda having physical addresses or places where people are being kept for trafficking and for sacrifice. I have talked to families, I've ministered to victims. Ezekiel tells us, we the priests have also fallen, because I feel victimized when I want to pray for someone whom I know after my prayer may not come back. So pray, knowing this is practical. It is not a mysterious thing that we don't know the people who are involved. We do know the people who are involved, but they are ready to kill. 5 of them jumped to my compound with AK-47 and said, are we trafficking your children? And I had the government security there, and they fought.
How did you end up in the hands of the traffickers?
My name is Aisha, and after finishing my secondary, I desperately looked for something to do to change my life so fast. So that's how I fell into the hands of a trafficker who I didn't know by then. The process was so quick, I'll be so fast on that. We did it online, and they sent me a ticket and a visa, and I had to travel through the airport. At the airport, there were some people who were supposed to pass us through the process, and I don't remember having any other document apart from the visa and the ticket.
If I could interrupt you, how did you get in touch with this person online?
A brother-in-law suggested some friend who I found in a shopping mall who collects girls and connects them to agents who take them.
So what was the promise?
The promise was to make money, and they were going to be paying me 1.2 M per month. So
where were they taking you?
In the beginning, I applied to go to Dubai to do a waitress job. And after the visa came out, it was going to Oman, and I first refused, and they told me you can't get a waitress job in Dubai without experience in domestic work. So I had to first get a 2 weeks experience to go to Dubai. So that's how I ended up in Oman, and I was there for 2 years. But through the airport, there are some people that were supposed to be bribed and we passed through. So no one cared if I qualified to pass through or not, because I remember I was given money that I was supposed to put into the passport and pass through the security process and the immigration, and there were some particular people who were supposed to pass us through, and we are told to only target those people to pass through. I was with other 4 girls. So they also had housemaid jobs, but they were also saying they were going to Dubai. So that's how they lied that, and we ended up in Oman.
So when you got to Oman, who received you?
We just found some strange man, and immediately we came out. He only asked, are you from Uganda? When I said yes, they took the passport. So that was the last time I saw my passport, up to until I finished the 2 years. When I reached the office, they drove us from Moscow to where I was, like for 5 hours. It was very far, and when we reached, they locked us in some house which had like 4 doors. You could enter one and they locked that. So I found there are other Ugandan girls locked inside, and they were looking for people to take us. So when my alleged boss came, they just took me to the office, and I saw them giving the boss some envelope, and they told the boss that was the contract I had signed. But I did not see it. I don't know what was in it, and they were given money. So that was the time I left the office, and I went to that house where I was supposed to work. And when I reached there, even the money they told me I would work for 1.2 M, they were giving me 700, and I had to work in 3 houses. So you could wake up, you had to wake up at 3 to finish the work. And
3 a.m.
Yeah, in the night, and then by 8 in the morning you have to be driven to another house to also do the work. So you had to, there was no time like for resting. You just had to be being driven from one house to another, and there were 3 houses. And they told me when I reached there, they will be giving me everything, but my boss, first of all, refused to give me the phone, and then told me he's giving me only food and shelter, so I had to be using my salary to be buying everything for myself. Due to the hard work, I fell sick there, and I had to be treating myself from my salary. So, like, I would say, the young girls, you will go for free as they lie to you, but you pay dearly, because up to now, I'm surviving on painkillers. I got sick from there, and I needed an operation, which I didn't get up to now. And while there, every time I would fall sick or faint, they would take me to some clinic, and they would just inject me with morphine, that painkiller that takes the pain away immediately.
And what exactly were you doing in these houses? What kind of work?
All work, from washing, cleaning, washing cars. I was the only one in these houses, so I had to do everything in this house alone. And they were like, the first house had 5 people, the second had 18, and the other one had 3. And you had to work for all of them without. I just want to warn all the young
How did you manage to escape?
I did not escape. I was very sick, but I had to finish the contract because they told me if I don't complete, I have to pay their money. They bought me. So if I didn't finish the contract, I had to pay their money, which I didn't have. So I finished, and when they saw I was very sick, they just drove me to the airport, and they said it's expensive to transport a dead body, so they should just send me when I die from here. So that's how I returned. I just hope everyone knows that it's not safe. Like, even when you go through the safe ways, all these people are just agents here.
Besides hard labor, was there any other kind of exploitation that you went through?
The starvation, the beating, and you had to be out in the sun.
They would beat you.
When you refuse to work, or when they find you resting, you're not allowed to rest. Even when you finish the work, you have to be doing something. You can even do it again. Because they say they buy us with their donkeys, and donkeys don't rest. That's why they call us that word, kadama, to mean donkeys, so we had just their donkeys. Have to do everything. I just want to tell the young boys and girls, it's not safe. Those people don't care who they give you to. They even don't know where you end up. So just stay home.
My name is Bagiri Joanita. I'm a survivor of human trafficking. I ended up into the hands of a trafficker through a relative too. This person had an office somewhere in Kawempe, and I applied for a waitress job too. The salary was to be 1.7, and after 2 weeks he told me that mistakenly my visa came with those who are going to work as housemaids, but I was going to Dubai. I first refused to go.
If I can interrupt, which year was this?
This was 2016.
You applied for a waitress job.
Yes.
2 weeks later, they tell you there is the vacancy for housemaids.
No. They said my visa mistakenly came back with those who are going to work as housemaids.
Okay.
I first refused, but I had this one person I wanted to help. It was very urgent. I had to accept to go, and I left. They told me I was going with others through Entebbe Airport, but I ended up going through Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, kept in Kenya for a few days in some wretched hotel, very old.
If I can take you back just a bit, was the office in Kawempe registered? And no.
Yes. Yes.
So they drove you to Kenya?
Yes, through the border. We passed through some thick forest on a border and crossed the border to Kenya, and I ended up there. And when I told them that I can't stay in Kenya because they were not feeding us, they were giving us lunch only, I told them I want to go back home. They told me my visa is ready, so I'm just going. I can't go back. I found many Ugandans in that hotel, male and female. Then we flew to Dubai. We didn't eat anything on the plane. We had to be picked. We had to take another flight from Dubai to Oman the next day in the evening. Still we didn't eat. We flew to Oman, and we were received by a certain gentleman who took our passports. And one of the things I will never forget is the place that you normally hear girls talk about, which was our office. This office had a big signpost, housemaid shop. I looked at the signpost and I was like, housemaid shop? So this is a shop. We are traded, we are bought, we are commodities, and at that office we could be displayed for window shopping.
In Oman?
Yes.
Okay.
We were from different countries, and an Arab could just come and say, bring Uganda, bring Filipino, bring, so you could just come. If they mention your country, they just choose one from that country, or they could just stand outside and say, bring that one. It was real window shopping. Like you go to a shop and you look.
For how long were you on display yourself?
I was there for 4 days. And then after I was picked, they told me my boss had come. So I was taken to this house where they received me. When you come, and you see them smiling, you might think that they are welcoming you. They are seeing something strange. I got to find out when they told me that I was the first black person in their family to work for them. Then I realized why they all came out to look at me when I reached there. They had a farm as big as this place. This farm had chicken, all kinds of birds, animals like cattle, sheep, and many other animals they kept, and I had to do all this work plus the domestic work. As time went on, my body maybe could not take the gravity of work. I started getting sick. I started fainting.
Were they feeding you?
Yes.
Did they give you shelter?
Yes. But the first day I was given leftovers, and I told the lady who knew English that, in our country, they mostly give leftovers to dogs. I'm afraid I might not eat food. I will eat fruits if they are available. And from that day, at least they gave me food. And then when I started getting sick, I started fainting, getting pains in my back. I could not sit because my back was paining. I could not sleep. I had no side where to sleep from. I spent a lot of months without sleep. And this one day, I fainted for 7 good hours without getting up. And when I got up, they told me they thought I had died. They were confused. They didn't know what to do. They said they checked all my pulses. They were all negative, so they thought I had died. From that day, I told myself that if God has given me a second chance, I am going to use my experience, my voice, and myself to tell the world about human trafficking, which I didn't know by then that it was human trafficking.
During the time you were doing hard labor, did you have chance to interact with other Ugandans?
Yes.
And what were they going through?
I interacted with many Ugandans. Actually, after my fainting, I told myself my life is done, my life is over. I'm remaining with just a few days or months or weeks to die. Let me dedicate my life to fight for those who still have life. I and my friends, we formed a group and started connecting ourselves to save those who needed emergency help. Through some people who had a good heart in Uganda, we could help rescue these girls to come back home. That is why I stand to say that everyone in this place is capable of rescuing someone. Because if I was still in captivity and I could rescue someone in captivity, then you cannot tell me that you cannot do anything.
So what has your life been like since?
Sick, in and out of the hospital, diagnosed with a lot of things, still paying with my life after wanting to make money. I want to tell everyone to, without fear or favor, speak about human trafficking. And to tell everyone that the trafficked don't know that they are trafficked. You are not safe. Whether you go through which company or where or what, you are not safe. Because when we reach there, they boldly tell us, we bought you. If you want to leave, pay our money. When they say that the company is helping you, the company is going to take you to another house after paying your former boss the amount of money they bought you. It is all modern day slavery. It is not about someone not wanting to work or being lazy. We were strong, we worked, but we could not survive. We were only brought back home because they thought transporting a dead body was more expensive than leaving us to go home.
And that is why it is very important for us and us governments, we are more keenly interested in ensuring that we make migration, because migration for work is a phenomenon that we cannot stop. People who migrate to go to work, whether they are coming to work from up country into the city, or they want to leave Uganda to work in any other country, it is legal and permissible. What is important is how can we as government make it safe, make it orderly, and regulate it, and make sure when people are in those countries, there is a mechanism that is in place to address the complaints that are affecting the migrant workers. So I want to indicate that yes, we recognize that trafficking is happening, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the lady articulated very well how the agents, because the trafficking is a very big network, and she articulated the network. The network of agents who are here in Uganda, who deceive these people and give them visas that are not work visa. They lie and give you visitors visa, they give you tourist visa, they take you to countries where Uganda does not have any bilateral agreement with them. For instance, Oman, which now hosts over 40,000 Ugandans working in Oman. The government of Uganda does not have a labor agreement for Ugandans to work in Oman. That's why the lady who spoke here talked about how they are trafficked, they are lied that they are going to Dubai, then they bring you another ticket showing Oman, or they take you to Dubai and give you another ticket from Dubai and traffic you to Oman. So I want to state that in this circumstance, government has analyzed all the routes that are being taken by traffickers, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs has taken a paper in the cabinet, but has also made proposals together with us in the Ministry of Gender to have a robust monitoring system at the airport to make sure that those who are going to be traveling, especially to the Middle East, if we find out that you are a girl between 21 years to 40 years and you are going by visitor's visa or tourist visa, and you cannot account for any job that you are doing there, you are first-time travelers, we are going to bring a regulation to make sure that the immigration officer will deny you passing through the Entebbe airport, because that is the major traffic point, the tourist visa and the visitor's visa. So we have already made the proposal, it's to be discussed in cabinet, and I am certain that if we agree as a country, and I want to request the church to come and allow engagement, but also help us with the parents and these girls and the lawyers, because when we brought that proposal, the lawyers started saying you cannot, an 18-year-old girl who has consented as a visa, as a passport, and is going where she's going, you cannot stop them. They have their own rights. And even these girls themselves, there are many we have intercepted at Entebbe Airport. And we want to bring them back to their parents. They go to the lawyers, they go to the court, they get a court injunction to restrain government from stopping them going to Oman, going to Jordan, going to countries that they are being trafficked. So I'm glad that these prayers come at the right time where we are now coming with this regulation. I want to request you to help us engage the lawyers, the human rights organizations, not to start siding with the traffickers, so that measures that we are coming with will be acceptable as a country, so that we are able to address this vice. With those people who are already in the countries where they are and they are being trafficked, as government, we have worked out a mechanism to bring them back. As I speak now in Dubai, together with the government of UAE, we have a program of bringing all those who have gone illegally, so long as they have not committed any crime, they are being assessed. So far, we have found over 200 who do not have passports. They went with their passports, but they were trafficked immediately. You reach there, like she was saying, they remove away your passport. And if you try to shift or to escape, they destroy the passport. So just as I was here, I was coordinating about around 20 girls who are supposed to go to the immigration center in Al Hawir in Dubai to facilitate their coming, but all of them do not have their passport. So now we are processing their passport, and once the passport are processed, they will be coming back. In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have also had a bilateral with them. We have agreed for any who have been trafficked, or for those who have finished their contract and their bosses are denying them return, because there's also that category. They go through official channel. When they finish the 2 years, because under the Ministry of Gender, when we license you, you go for 2 years and you're supposed to return back. But their bosses, when you finish the 2 years, they refuse to give you what they call exit visa, because under the law, you are supposed to be given exit visa to come back. You cannot come out without an exit visa. So this category also in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have registered so far over 300 who have so far finished their 2 years. They want to come back, but the bosses have said, no, you are very good, continue to work, and these girls psychologically can no longer hold staying in those countries. So that one, we are also working on it. On the issue of monitoring, because the most important thing we have decided is whether a Ugandan has gone through traffic or through the legal route, it is our responsibility as government to bring them back when they are in distress. So we have designed a robust mechanism to receive complaints through the online system, through 24-hour call center, but also we are employing lawyers who are themselves Arabs, who know Sharia law, who the law permits them to access the homes where the girls are. And we shall give the girls the 24-hour call center. We will give them the numbers of their lawyers, the number of our labor touches and workers in ambassador and our ambassador and embassy staff, so that you can be able to call when you are in distress and you can be easily rescued through the legal process that we have had arranged as a monitoring mechanism. So as we come for these joint prayers, I want to assure you on behalf of government that we are ready to work with you. We are ready to partner in awareness creation. We are ready to partner in ensuring that we come up with a solution that answers the national question, but also to work to make sure that Uganda is safe for people the economic environment is safe for people to invest in Uganda, so that we avoid having people traveling abroad, because the major pull factor and push factor is the economic survival. So we will work to make sure that we can provide capital that somebody will know that they can invest and survive in Uganda, but also let them know that where they think the economy is okay, when you go there equally, it is worse than Uganda. And I'm happy that the lady who testified actually said that she thought Uganda was the worst, but she found that out there actually Uganda is better. And when someone narrated how the person who they traveled with and landed into the country and was crying and saying that she has to be a champion of telling people that do not go out there, struggle here. I want to have that commitment that we will do everything to make sure that our Ugandans can survive economically in Uganda, so that they don't need to go and suffer. And if they must go, they go for skilled employment. They migrate for skilled work, but not domestic work.